Hi all, quick review of the 13.3 inch Android screen that I've just finished installing in my Series 5 Y62 Patrol as a TiL. Not that it matters, because in Australia you get the crap entertainment system, unlike the rest of the world, so this is what you got to do to sort it out. I had one of the vertical Tesla screens before this, but decided I wanted to get the latest one. So a lot of it's pretty sort of straightforward and self-explanatory. One of the things that's not really hasn't been pointed out much, it's cool. It's got some dedicated buttons for things that you don't get on the other ones. Navigation, the dim button changes the brightness of the screen, which is probably not working very well on the phone. Home button and radio, which is quite cool. So you hit radio, bang, comes up straight away. Back to home. Navigation, you can program it to work with whatever app you want, of course, so that's pretty cool. If you didn't like to use Google Maps, you could use something else. Steering wheel controls all work good, and I've just learnt more things. So for example, if I press down the center button there, that's actually taking it back to the home screen. Volume works. This particular unit doesn't have a dedicated volume button, which you're like, oh, that's a real hassle. But you just use a steering wheel control, and it means that it's much harder for your passenger to change the volume. So that's a little bit of an advantage. What it does give me, which the 12.3 inch unit doesn't give you, is I get dedicated controls for the heater here, which is quite handy. Plus, of course, you get the bigger screen. So, you know, whatever. So that's really cool. Google Maps, I don't need to show you that. Everyone knows how to use Google Maps. The radio, I've just learned things. Don't press that search button, because that wipes all your presets, and it then scans through and puts in all new presets. I've also just learnt that if you swipe across, you get more. So there's 3 sets of presets, which is pretty cool. The sound quality is better than stock with this. Obviously, you're not going to be able to tell on the phone. When you press that button, and there's different ways of getting to it, you get this graphic equalizer. Now, the first time I play with it, I'm mucking around because I like to have that sort of shape where it's up on the right, up on the treble and up on the bass. And I'm thinking, this thing sounds crap. What's the problem? Of course, you've got to swipe. Whoops. It's got 3 sets of... This one's... There we go. It's got 3 sets. So I don't know how many channels that is. Oops. Well, it's interesting. There you go. I've got to scroll on the bottom. So it's a million channel graphic equalizer. You've got all the preset things. You've got all this other rubbish you can muck around with. Surround sound, bass boost stuff. This car, I haven't changed the sound system in this car, but as I said, it sounds better than stock. You can make it crank and really muck around with your film, the sound. All this other stuff here, bass filter stuff. This is really good. You don't get all of this with the stock one. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's cool. Press the back button on the steering wheel. So yeah, stereo is good. 3 bands plus AM if you use it. All the Bluetooth stuff. Bluetooth is actually pretty good on this. It appears to connect to the phone pretty well. I can have my call history and all your contacts and all that sort of rubbish on there, so that's cool. The video, that's just like a video player. You can watch videos and stuff on this thing if you want to. Settings, there's quite a lot of stuff in the settings. So there's like all your Wi-Fi stuff. This is also, you can put a SIM card in it, so you can have it have its own data. You sort of need data to be able to use everything. It'll work fine without it, but you won't be able to use anything data based. So in my case, I'm a bit of a tight ass. I'll probably just continue to do what I did before, which is when the phone connects to the screen, you just have a routine running on your phone that turns on your Wi-Fi hotspot, and then it can connect to that, and then you've got data and everything. So you can settle that rubbish up there. There's screen stuff. You can change anything, because obviously it's just a tablet, so you can do whatever you want. Sound is just getting more adjustment for different things. I've got to play with this a little bit more just to understand exactly what that means. I think it means, I don't know whether it's the talking volume of the navigation, or if it drops the stereo volume when the navigation tries to talk. I don't know. Background music, don't know. Whole lot of other things. You can tell it whether or not you want it to go to sleep when you turn it off. So when you turn this car off. So, and I think that's just worked out why it was restarting each time, because I said no sleep, which meant it was restarting from scratch each time. The light setting, whether it wants to follow the headlights or not. This is where you can control what app opens when you do navigation recorder. So now I haven't actually set this up. I've got a dash cam thing there. On my previous one, there was just an app running on the screen, so you can muck around with that from the screen. I haven't got around to setting this up yet, but I will. Satellite info actually is pretty cool. This is some sort of app that you don't get any instructions for. I don't know, you use it for checking the satellites. It does a whole lot of other things too. I'll worry about it later. I don't use this. Yes, I want to exit. Location and map permissions, that's just all standard stuff. Amplifier control, yeah, okay, whatever. Video suspension window, I think that means, I don't know, you can tell it whether or not you want to have videos running when you're driving. Not that you'd ever do that. Memory start navigation, I reckon that'll be when it turns on, if it goes straight to navigation and stuff. You can get it to hide or show the car battery level. I don't know why I've got 11.5 volt. I've got a battery charger hooked up at the moment to make sure I don't go flat. You can also show your phone battery level, which is cool. Video output setting, I don't worry about hooking up my rear screens. My kids have moved out, they're 23 and 21, who cares? So I've never ever used the rear screens in my car. If you want to, you can have them hooked up and you can have them controlled from these things. Don't ask me how to do it, but you can, it's all there. More car stuff, so show the temperature, yes or no. Air conditioning, there's a whole display for the air conditioning if you want it, although you've got the controls here. Door display, I don't normally have on because it comes up all the time whenever you got a door open or something, you got to double press it to make it go away. The radar stuff's all pretty straightforward. The steering wheel, it has a really cool thing in this. So you can customize this. Don't ask me how you do it, but because it's set up pretty good from stock and I don't need to muck around with any more things, but you can assign the buttons short press and long press to do different things. And there's this whole thing that you can muck around with. I don't care. It allows me to, your source button changes what it's doing, and I can go back to home. That just, because I press source, it's gone to maps. The back one works, the volume works, and I think the phone buttons work, not that I ever use them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Temp norm, if you wanted to have Fahrenheit, and I don't know what temperature value conversion means. So that's pretty cool. Reverse, so I don't know why, but it says left and right mirror images, so you can invert the images if you want, and also up and down. Reversing radar, reversing trajectory, it shows you the things, the trajectory, direction, rulers and crap. A stern normal power supply, not exactly sure what that means. Reverse mode system reversing, which you want that. Reverse delay, I reckon what that does is when you shift from park into, say, drive, you go past reverse. If you don't have the delay on there, it'll think you're going into reverse even though you've gone past it. So you can put the delay in there so it doesn't trick that. You can change your camera thing, so if you change that and it doesn't work, or if it's not working, you need to change it. Mine's on NTSC, that seems to work. When I changed it and it stopped working, it was in a bit of a foof to get it to start working again. It wasn't happy. A stern forward view, I don't know, you can change that. I think what that means is when you go into drive, it automatically goes to your front camera and then stays on. I've turned that off because that can be a bit annoying, but you know, whatever. Reversing volume control, I think means the volume that the radio or whatever you're listening to will go to when you hit reverse, so it's going to limit it, right? Voice, I think that's got to do with how you're going to voice control stuff. I tend to not use that too much. It's got, looks like for every app you can select things, who cares. Personal information stuff, it shows your accounts, Language choice. Okay, let's just bring up the Android. I don't want to worry about that. Input method settings. Yeah, this is just going to standard crap. Phone link app. I don't use Android Auto or the other thing, because you've got a tablet that gives you far more control than what you get, I believe, than from using Android Auto. Yeah. System. I think if you're going to change things or get upgrades or whatever, updates, this is what you do, and there's a factory reset thing here. This looks like the factory one is an interface, I believe, to get in, probably to get special stuff done. More just gets you to all your standard Android things. It's telling you about the unit. Now, that's the app button. So you press that, and then there's all the stuff that's installed, and then you can add stuff on it. So there's a car settings application. Now, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this, but my car's crossed, so I've got no cruise control at the moment, and I think it's either a wheel sensor's playing up or the radar rubbish is playing up. So this is probably affecting some of this as well. But you can change stuff. Some of this stuff works, and was the same on the other unit. It had all these options, but a lot of them didn't work. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. Like lane departure prevention, this car doesn't have that. Well, not normally, I don't think. Blind spot intervention, it doesn't do that, but they've got options on here. Sonar system, you can, if this was working properly, and maybe you need to have the car running to select some of this stuff, but you can turn the, front sensor, that might mean front sensor only. I don't know, because that can be a hassle when you're towing a trailer or you got a bike rack on the back or something like that. So that's probably what that is. Interrupt display means it'll come over the top. Sensitivity, volume, whatever. Rear headrest string stuff, so you can do stuff for people with little kids. Other, spelt incorrectly. Now on the previous unit, you had to be very careful with this. There's car selection. This one, it doesn't have very many choices. My previous one, you had to be very careful, because if you chose the wrong car, everything wouldn't work. And initially when I got mine, it wasn't working. It was because it didn't have the right car selected. So that's what it was on when I got it. Everything appears to work, so it's like whatever. So that's all the stuff there. There is a car info thing, which is just giving you your kilometers, average fuel. Mine's supercharged. I don't think it's doing 19 litres, whatever. There doesn't appear to be an application in here to look at all your fuel consumption stuff. Maybe I haven't found it yet. That theme thing, I wouldn't play with that. I selected that, and then it looks like there's all these different themes you can get if you're into that. But I think a lot of them, or all of them, whatever, you got to pay for. And so yeah, I don't know about that. CarMate, I haven't mucked around with that yet. Don't know what that is. The settings is back to where we were before. It's just another way of getting to it from the thing. Air conditioning is, you can have that come up. Now I've told it not to come up because I've got all the things here. I don't want to muck around with it. Oh, this one you have control over the rear too, which is pretty cool. I've seen other people with videos talking about that, so I'm not going to worry about going into that. The GPS crap, that's your that's the controls for, it's selected auxiliary. Oh, so the other thing too is this unit has got full RCAs in and out, including video, none of which I've hooked up because you don't need it with this car. But that'll be how you would access it if you wanted to have, I probably like a game system or something. I don't know. I'm going to press my radio button to make it go back to the radio, and then I'll go. Oh, now you got 3 buttons. That's back, that is home, and then that brings up the different apps that are running. So if I want to go back to, where was I? Like on the air conditioning one, and then you go back, and then yeah, whatever. Boot animation, I don't know. You might be able to put other things in here. Don't know. Sergey from Russia on the Android, what do you call it? The Tesla screen ones, the vertical ones. He does all sorts of stuff for them. I don't think he does them for these yet, but you know, you can have all sorts of sexy animations to come up when you first start the unit and backings and stuff. This appears to be a bit different. Chrome, going to talk about DSP is graphic equalizer from hell. Yeah, so it's got all these different presets. I'm on heavy metal. There you go. Pop, soft, rock, little heavy metal. I tell you what, the stereo sounds so much better with these things. Easy connection, I think, is that Android Auto rubbish. File manager, Google Schmoogle, gyroscope. Oh, there you go. I'm reckoning that's going to work when I'm driving. I wouldn't use that one. I've got that Carabota dash thing, and that's actually got a really cool display for full driving. We're not supposed to be talking about that, but which is the one? That one, that screen for full driving is pretty cool. All right, so there's that. Maintenance information, so you can set your maintenance stuff in there. Who knows what will happen when it's ready. Maps, the music, what's that? I don't think I've opened that. Wow, it's got Britney Spears. So that'll be allowing you to play files that you've got saved locally, obviously. So there you go. Play Store, everyone knows what that is. Quick Pick, I don't know what that is, to select things. Radio, comes with Spotify. That's the steering wheel thing that we played with before. TP Link, as I think is with the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay thing. Videos is the video player. YouTube. I like Memory Map, full topographical mapping, which I haven't installed on it yet because I've only just put this on, so I haven't set it up with my account and stuff. I really like this app. You can get free apps. It just crashed, I think. You can get free apps, free maps, and yeah, I love it. And you can pay for other ones, up to 1 in 25,000. Navigation, Australia, New Zealand, different parts of the world. This is trying to find my location because I'm inside the garage. GPS isn't working, so it's probably a bit cross. Anyway, I've got that on there, and it's not going to let me get out because it's trying to download stuff. What else do we need to show from there? That's, I think, pretty much all of that. I think that's just about it. So yeah, like I'm happy. Oh, now, so all the controls, pretty cool. So turn the car on a bit. All of the controls work. Hang on, turn it on. Whoops, turn it off twice. And it appears to be the right way round. So turn sync off. Yeah, look at that. So the right hand side is doing the right hand side, and the left hand side is doing the left. On my other one, that was opposite. You can control the rear. You can set it so that whenever you do anything here, it mirrors on the screen. I don't like that, so I haven't enabled it. I've been pretty happy with that. I really like that the lights on this are much brighter. So this is good. It's a bit easier to see when you get old. So that's good. Yeah, I really like the home thing. This unit's quite fast. Yeah, so that's all been good. What was the other button I need to press? Oh, that's Google. Oh, sorry, Chrome. So if you, obviously you can browse the web and everything like you normally do. And then you can install whatever else you want on there. All right, there you go. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. And happy days.